New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says it's time to end the $825 million worth of unused sick day payouts to public workers when they retire. Senate President Steve Sweeney agrees and has introduced a bill that would bar future payouts for unused sick time, but would allow employees to keep and roll over the time they've already saved. Time to bring out our panel. Guy Benson is the political editor for townhall.com in D.C. Hadley Heath is senior policy analyst for the Independent Women's Forum in D.C. And Clint Greenleaf is the CEO of Greenleaf Book Group in Austin. Clint, let's start with you. What do you make of this?
Well, you know, I'm so glad they're doing this now, finally. I mean, at least they're going to stop the bloodletting. The part that I find hilarious is that Democrat Senator Paul Sarlo says, well, you know, we all agree it's a bad problem, but it came about from collective bargaining. So, you know, that's really not a big deal at all. And it just goes to show you how bad the system is. It's
a bad problem, all right. Hadley, does the governor have it right?
Oh, I think this is an effort on behalf of the New Jersey lawmakers to protect taxpayers, because at the end of the day, who's stuck with the bill when state workers accrue millions of dollars in sick leave payouts the taxpayers have to pay?
Guy, what do you say? Because this isn't just a problem in New Jersey. This happens all over the country. I mean, how much money could we really save in taxpayer dollars if we went after this from coast to coast?
Well, if it's close to $1 billion in New Jersey, you can extrapolate from there. But there are two big points to make here. First, Jerry, you and I know this. Those of us who inhabit the real world, i.e. the private sector, this is just complete fantasy. The idea that you could not get sick, save those days, roll them over for future sick days, and then keep rolling them over till you retire and get a giant paycheck? Like, what? I mean, it's a complete sham, and the fact that this is being done with taxpayer money makes it just, it goes from being laughable to outrageous. But the second point I think is so important. It underscores leadership. Governor Christie entered a very hostile state. I'm a New Jersey native. This was a state run by labor unions and Democrats. And what has he done? He's balanced two budgets without raising taxes. He enacted major and signed major pension reform where he divided Democrats, split his opposition, and got it through. And here we have the Democratic Senate president introducing this bill to try to stave off what Christie's been pushing here, because he's selling it to the public. When you sell conservative ideas effectively, even in a place like New Jersey, it works, and the Democrats are retreating. God bless Chris Christie. He is doing wonders.
I got to tell you, I'm buying Chris Christie fan club T-shirts, and you and I are going to be the founding members, okay? I mean, he's got it right here. Absolutely right. Okay, we got to move on. The House Oversight Committee earlier today hearing a case of workers saying they don't want to join a union or pay for its politics. According to Chairman Issa's office, many workers are intentionally left unaware of their rights and in some cases are subjected to a campaign of threats and extortion. Guy, this is one of those situations out of control. And again, unions behind this, just as they were behind the vacation sick out days accumulating pay for workers in New Jersey.
Well, this is especially a no-brainer for public sector unions, government sector unions, because let's kind of do the calculus here. I believe these people call themselves public servants, and that's great. They do a lot of helpful things, but they are serving the public, us, and we pay them with our tax dollars. For some of those tax dollars to go instantly into political coffers and sent almost exclusively to Democrats without any consent from the taxpayer, let alone the member of the union, it's lunacy, and it should be stopped. To me, it's very, very obvious.
Clint, lunacy?
No, he's exactly right. This is lunacy, Guy. You've hit the nail on the head. Nothing frustrates me more. I mean, unions were great when we had robber barons. I don't think there's any robber barons left in the country in the private sector. You could argue that some of the congressmen are robber barons in their own way, but we should still not have any public sector unions. It's just crazy to have them in any way.
Hadley.
No union worker should be forced to pay their dues towards political activities if they don't want to. In fact, some opinion surveys show that many union workers think that, you know, they're uncomfortable with the level of political activism that their union is engaging in. So I don't think it's fair, and I understand their plight, because today it seems many unions are more interested in the big government agenda than actually protecting their workers. So,
amen.
All right, well, here's a story that has me fired up today. Vending machines, of course, a staple for college students, but one university, it's a whole new level there. They've got a morning after machine. With just a push of a button, students at Shippensburg University in Pennsylvania can purchase the morning after pill right on campus. Hadley, what do you say?
Well, listen, my heart goes out to any college students who are in a bad situation, but I really question the wisdom of this decision on behalf of the university. I hope they'll look beyond the legal questions and beyond the safety questions and really ask, what message is this sending to young collegiate women about the seriousness of this drug? It's different, very different from taking an aspirin.
That's right. Guy, what do you say? I mean, you're a fella. What would have happened if you had turned the corner on the college campus and seen one of these machines?
I would, you know how you have to push the buttons, and you know, if you get B3, it's a Snickers. B8, oops, your finger slips, and it's the morning after pill. I mean, look, I'm not a giant prude. I am very proudly pro-life. I know some pro-lifers believe Plan B is abortion. I'm not totally convinced of that, but this makes me very uncomfortable. I think it trivializes sexual activity. We were talking in the green room beforehand, Hadley and I, and she made a good point. If it's this readily available, A, is it safe? B, does it become Plan A for a lot of women? And what about rape victims? If they have this available to them, they don't have to talk to anyone. They might not report the crime that's been committed against them. There's a lot at play here, and I think I really think that the college needs to re-examine this because it sends a terrible message.
I agree. I agree. Guy, Hadley, and Clint, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Great job, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks.